He's actually the reason why I even have a Substack now. You showed me. You're my granddaddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I remember I read your work because I was with Matt at the time, and him and I were starting that writing group, and we were looking for members to recruit. And when I read your essays, which are beautiful and very heartfelt, and that's what I really loved about your writing.
Thank you.
I was like, oh, this is gonna work. This will work real good.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has been.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be my next question to you. How do you feel like over the last few years that you've grown as a writer?
I consider myself to be a writer
first,
because sometimes I just do it with a pen in my hand or an instrument in my hand, but I'm always writing something. So how the last few years have changed, I suppose probably just because I've taken it a lot more seriously.
Okay.
And then I met you, and it's changed a lot just in the last, less than a year.
How so, from your perspective?
Well, it's gotten a lot worse since I've met you.
So much.
No, I think just having the community of having feedback and just from friends that you trust who are also really great writers, and just healthy critique, that goes a long ways. And I had that in music forever, but I didn't with literature.
See, I think when it comes to writers, just in general, we want to be read.
Yeah.
And to find somebody that actually wants to read you, I feel like we respond very strongly to that.
Of course.
And that makes us want to write more.
Of course.
So the fact that knowing that you were interested in reading some of my stuff, that makes me want to write more.
Yep.
That makes me want to be read. And I think that when you get around a bunch of people that are encouraging and smelting each other, as it were.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to call it out and be like, my stuff, and be like, that might not be very good. Have you thought of this?
Yeah.
And I feel like when we were doing the prompts, remember the prompts?
Yeah, I remember the prompts.
What was that like for you?
A challenge, because these prompts would be, I remember the first one was write a fantasy story. No, it wasn't even that. It was, what's your least favorite mythological creature? What is your favorite
mythological creature?
What is your favorite mythological creature? And what's the most overrated
trope to you?
Trope, right, in my opinion.
You were the chosen one!
Yeah, and so then I had to write, I don't know, like a 3,000 word story based on two things I don't like. Two things I think are overrated, and one thing that I like. And so that was a challenge to write something that I actually enjoyed. And then you're really good at just being able to sort of whittle away at someone's taste, I would say. And so you helped me kind of realize some authors that I was aware of already, but you really encouraged me. I think I don't even think you told me about Flannery. I was already reading Flannery.
You were already there, man.
Yeah, but you sort of encouraged me, I think, with your prompts when I started saying, like, I'm really into Flannery O'Connor.
Right.
With your prompts, you started kind of pointing in that. So
what I love about the stories that you've been writing is they're very folk.
Yeah.
They're very country. They're very kind of not necessarily backwoods, but it's just the bootstrap kind of people.
Yeah.
On the road.
Common people.
Very Americana.
Yeah.
And then you just throw a dash of supernatural, a dash of sci-fi, a dash of horror, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
It's kind of like modern myth making.
Yeah.
Like Paul Bunyan and
Yeah, exactly.
But
I've always been really interested in just taking normal things and what's the one little tweak that makes it scary,
right,
or makes it just the one simple detail that can twist it into something completely different. I love that. And I love books and movies that are like that. We're currently the Stephen King 11/22/63.
Yeah.
It's like this guy, he's a professor, goes to this diner every day, and then the owner of the diner just tells him, he's like, hey, I've got a time portal in my closet. Which completely, it's like, what? And then now he's back in time trying to save JFK. And that to me is just really interesting.
Right. It's very Twilight Zone.
It is, yeah. But I love that sort of stuff, especially, I tend to write about things I know, and a lot of my writing involves people I know, or at least characters whom I've met, and places I've been. Being a musician, I've been able and really fortunate to travel all over the place. And you meet a lot of characters.
You do.
And so I just have notes and notes of just weird people I've met, and I think are really interesting. And so, to me, it's just sort of like, okay, if I'm meeting an interesting person in the middle of, I don't know, Georgia or something, what would happen if, like, a black hole appeared in between us? That sort of stuff.
Naturally.
Yeah. Last question: Is there an author that you've discovered or started reading in the last year that's just changed the way you've thought about writing?
Yes. His name is Frank Stockton. Stockton. So he is an American fairy tale writer, and he was huge during the Civil War, post-Civil War era.
Okay.
And he got so famous because he wrote a specific story that was about a tiger. And it was kind of a riddle.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
I think I've heard about this, actually.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Lady and the Tiger. The Lady and the Tiger. And it's this...
I've heard about
it. It was
this.
to the point where he was so famous that princes from different countries were asking, like, what's the actual answer to your riddle? Because he never gave it. But what I loved about him is that he wrote, in his time, modern fairy tales.
Yeah.
And he was incorporating his own belief system and his own ideas and mythology. Yeah. And he was doing something very interesting with them. And they're cheeky. Yeah. They're fun. And they're very different. And I find it very inspiring that him in that time was just like, I'm going to make my own stories, my own fairy tales.
I love that. Yeah.
I remember when I was 16, I was at youth group, and I've always been obsessed with, like, the Brothers Grimm, and I was reading those. And my friend at the time, he was the other writer I knew. We all wore black and had long ponytails. And we were.
I can see nothing has changed.
No. And he wrote a fairy tale. Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, check this out," and that just blew my mind, because at that point
you could do that,
do it yourself. Because I'm like, this is sacred ground. You can't just
right.
And so he did that. And when he did that, that gave me, number one, the realization, and then the courage to write my own fairy tale. Yeah. And then after that, I've never stopped. But it's just, Frank was a nice reminder that, like you said, we are always telling stories, and you can create your own mythologies as long as they are timeless, as long as they are based on what you believe and done with conviction.
Love that.
So...
There you go.
There you go. All right, my man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
And we will see you guys some other time.
All right.